Chapter 237. Joining hands to battle Invincible. At this moment, the entire small town had long since boiled over, with the crowd discussing the matter of Kang Chon's trio being wanted by the heavenly dragons, especially since Kang Chon's trio had chosen to face the heavenly dragons head-on, causing many to be extremely puzzled. Although Kang Chon's three were all quasi-invincible powerhouses, it was simply delusional to think that with three quasi-invincible powerhouses, they could stand up to an invincible powerhouse. Everyone knew that there was a huge gap between invincible and quasi-invincible. One invincible powerhouse could easily defeat 10 quasi-invincible powerhouses, and the two sides simply couldn't be compared. Therefore, many people were very surprised at the audacity of the Kang Chon trio. In reality, Kang Chon's trio was also very clear that at this moment, they were preparing to meet the battle. And although they didn't care about Chonlong on the surface, their hearts were very grave, and including Kang Chon, they didn't dare to be careless. This was definitely the strongest enemy they had ever encountered since they entered the spirit sealing space, and they had to treat it with caution. Brother, I'm afraid that after berserking, my power isn't much weaker than an invincible powerhouse, Little Gold said confidently. Brahma, heart on the side, was also confident as he laughed. My battle state isn't a vegetarian either. I should be able to deal with him when I join forces with Little Gold. Brother Dao, you'll just press the line for us. Don't underestimate invincible powerhouses. When the physical body reaches the invincible realm, the body itself is a powerful magic treasure, and it can also derive powerful divine abilities. The strength is unfathomable. Kang Chon reminded the two. Although Kang Chon currently only had 1 foot in the invincible realm, he was very clear about how powerful the invincible realm was, and he was confident that as soon as he stepped into the invincible realm, he would be able to blast a Yuanying stage powerhouse with a single punch. Remember, this was entirely by virtue of fleshly strength, without using a single cent of true essence. This was the dreadfulness of a peerless level fleshly body. Brother, you're also too long on others' aspiration to destroy your own, Little Gold said with a face full of disinterest. Dao brother, don't worry, I'll pay attention. Brahma Shin nodded his head as he sniffed. In the end, he was much more mature than Little Gold, and was very cautious about this battle. Good, you guys be careful. During this period of time you guys will learn to coordinate with each other a bit first, and try to utilize your strongest power. Kang Chon nodded. For Brahma Shin, he was still very assured. Besides, he would watch from the side at that time. Once they couldn't withstand the heavenly dragon, he would go up to take over. Fan Xin and Xiao Jin nodded their heads at the same time. The three of them came all the way here. After countless battles on the way, they had already had a set of mutual coordination of attack and defense, which could bring their power into superb use. In this way, 5 days passed in the blink of an eye, getting closer and closer to the time of Chonlong's arrival. Cultivators from other strongholds had also heard the news and rushed over, causing the number of people in this last stronghold to double. From the original empty small city, it had evolved into a bustling and noisy one. A single emperor-level powerhouse, king-level powerhouse, or even a quasi-invincible powerhouse had arrived from all over the place, ready to watch this pinnacle battle. Although many people thought that Kang Long was bound to win, after all, he was a peerless powerhouse. But there were 3 quasi-invincible powerhouses on Kang Chon's side, and battles of this level were hard to see, so all of them, including those quasi-invincible powerhouses, were very much looking forward to this battle. Another 3 days had passed, and the last stronghold was already overcrowded, with numerous cultivators rubbing their fists and palms, somewhat impatiently waiting for the upcoming battle. Who is the hegemonic emperor? Don't come out and die for this seat yet. Suddenly, a cold shout exploded from the sky, and all the cultivators in the entire city raised their heads to look at the sky, only to see that a golden figure stepped in high in the sky, exuding a powerful aura that shot up into the sky. It's Qianlong." The crowd below erupted in an uproar. The person who came was none other than Qianlong. Two cold bolts of electricity fell out from his eyes as he scanned everyone in the small town, searching for the figure of Kang Qian's trio. The entire small city was suddenly abuzz. In the last stronghold, the wind and clouds gathered, and the entire small city, overcrowded with people, was filled with cultivators. Normally, the cultivators within this stronghold were very sparse, as no one dared to travel to the city of heaven without arriving at the emperor level of cultivation. So most of the cultivators continued their cultivation in other strongholds. However, these days, as the news of Qianlong's arrival spread, one cultivator after another arrived, causing this sparsely populated small city to be filled with noisy scenes for the first time. The sky was cloudless, a clear wind drifted, and a golden figure slowly came with his feet in the void. His stance was leisurely, his face was deep, and his arrogant eyes shot out a stern light, like a heavenly god looking down on the earth from the heavenly realm. "Heavenly Dragon is here." Someone within the small city roared at the sight. In this spirit-sealing space, the only ones who could step into the air were invincible powerhouses. And in the middle of the City of Earth battlefield, currently, only Qianlong was the only one who was known to be an invincible powerhouse. Therefore, when someone in the small city saw the golden figure standing proudly in the void, they knew the identity of the visitor. "It's really Qianlong. He came really fast. It looks like he rushed here as soon as he received the news. Truly worthy of being a peerless powerhouse. This speed alone is despairing." The people in the city were filled with awe. Even though the sky dragon in the air didn't give off any aura, they still felt a heavy oppressive feeling. People knew that this was the majesty that invincible powerhouses naturally exuded. "What? You have the guts to provoke this seat, but don't have the guts to come out." Scanning the crowd below, Qianlong was filled with disdain as he said coldly. The crowd was silent. All of them looked towards a stone house in the city. After coming to the small city for so long, many people already knew where the Kang Qian trio lived. They just didn't dare to disturb them normally. Qianlong also saw the crowd's strangeness. His gaze followed, and a cold smile immediately flashed in his eyes. This was an ordinary stone house, not outstanding, but at this moment, it was being watched by tens of thousands of strong people. Suddenly, within the stone house, a powerful aura erupted. Blazing light rushed straight into the sky. A huge golden giant ape roared and appeared. He topped the sky. His voice shook the 9 ghosts, like an invincible god of war, and blasted his fist towards the celestial dragon in mid-air. People cried out in shock. This was a terrifying power. The powerful oppression caused many cultivators around them to fly out backwards. Even some quasi-invincible powerhouses turned pale and looked at the golden giant ape that came out of the stone house with a face full of shock. "I didn't expect him to be so strong." Among the crowd, a quasi-invincible powerhouse's face was filled with astonishment. If Kang Qian's 3 were here, they would definitely recognize him. This person was none other than Devil Peak, who had advised them to leave earlier. Little Gold completely exploded all his power at this moment, although he didn't have the slightest fear. But he also knew the power of invincible powerhouses. The moment he struck out, it was his full strength. He didn't dare to hide it at all. High in the sky, the golden-colored giant ape roared up to the sky, exuding an incomparably powerful aura. He was like a golden volcano, erupting a terrifying power, galloping towards the heavenly dragon, and along the way, the entire sky was in turmoil. "You are the Monkey King. To be able to kill the Earth Dragon Emperor, you are indeed worthy of your name. And this seat is not dirty for killing you." In the sky, a majestic voice resounded through the heavens and earth, filled with a terrifying sense of oppression, an invincible aura that could not be looked down upon. The heavenly dragon's eyes shot out a blazing light. His expression was cold, a palm pressed down. A boundless might shook the heavens and the earth. The invincible power crushed everything. destroying everything, and generally pressed towards Little Gold. Rumble, high in the sky. Unceasing power surged. This was an invincible power that was difficult to describe in words, so powerful that it was impossible to resist. As soon as Little Kong made contact, his entire body flew backwards, spraying a mouthful of blood in midair. Qianlong was very powerful. A light palm crushed Xiaojin's full force strike and sent Xiaojin flying 100 miles. His might was terrifying to the extreme. Everyone's heart was shocked. This was an invincible strong person. Even if it was as strong as Xiaojin, it could not be defeated by a single move. This kind of powerful force made everyone afraid. No wonder every invincible strong person could be proud of the spirit sealing space. It was because in this spirit sealing space, where one could not use true essence, an invincible level powerhouse represented true invincibility. Roar! Little Gold, who flew out backwards, only stopped after knocking down dozens of stone houses. He looked hideous and let out a heaven-shattering roar. His entire body erupted with 10,000 feet of golden light. A terrifying aura swept across the entire space. And in the end, he rushed to the sky and kicked the heavenly dragon fiercely. People were shocked. Little Gold's power had instantly risen to a terrifying level, almost comparable to an invincible powerhouse. A trace of surprise also flashed in Qianlong's eyes. His face was grave as he let out a cold snort and blasted his fist at Little Gold, directly against that huge golden monkey's foot. Boom! It was a very terrifying impact. The entire sky seemed like it was being torn into pieces by a powerful force, and a thunderous sound shook the heavens and earth. Little Gold's eyes danced with golden flames. He was furious to the extreme, being blown away by a palm that just now was the first time he had ever encountered it. And under the fire of urgency, he directly berserked, bursting out the strongest power. Before he went berserk, Little Gold was already dominant amongst the quasi-invincible, and after he went berserk, his power doubled, reaching a limit that was infinitely close to that of an invincible powerhouse. However, even with such a powerful force, he was unable to repel the heavenly dragon by half a step. He was like a lofty mountain peak, standing motionless in the firmament, his entire body exuding a palpitatingly terrifying aura. However, this time Little Gold was not blasted away either. He just retreated 100 steps, standing proudly on top of their stone house, coldly gazing at the heavenly dragon high in the sky. What a strong power! It's almost comparable to an invincible powerhouse. Earth Dragon Emperor's defeat in your hands is not an unjust death. Qianlong looked at Xiaojin on top of the stone house. A trace of surprise flashed in his eyes as he said faintly. People were shocked to be able to be evaluated like this by the invincible level heavenly dragon. Xiaojin's strength could be imagined. I'll give you a chance to submit to me. I can spare your life, the heavenly dragon said coldly, his gaze still proud and unreadable, his powerful aura full of oppression. It seemed that the heavenly dragon valued Little Jin so much that he even gave up the hatred between the heavenly dragon emperor and the earth dragon emperor and wanted to reclaim him. The crowd couldn't help but look at Little Gold, wanting to see how this powerful man shows. In the eyes of many, choosing to submit at this time was the last option. At least it would save their lives. However, Little Gold's face was filled with disdain as he coldly hummed, "Wait until you defeat Master Monkey." Humph. The crowd was shocked at his words. Even when faced with an invincible powerhouse, Little Gold was still so strong. But he also had the backing for this strength. At least the strength he displayed was very powerful. Many quasi-invincible powerhouses within the small city felt inferior to Xiaojin. It seems necessary to let you appreciate the true strength of a peerless powerhouse. I hope you won't be scared out of your wits. When Qianlong heard Xiaojin's words, there wasn't the slightest bit of anger in his eyes. As he smiled coldly, and his entire body began to emit a light golden light. Xiaojin's eyes immediately gazed at his words, his eyes tightly locked onto the sky dragon high in the sky, as he raised the strength of his entire body. However, in a moment, the golden light emanating from Tianlong's body became more and more intense. The crowd looked up as if they were seeing a golden sun slowly rising, and they felt a terrifying power fluctuation. "What a powerful force, bald brother, don't come out yet." Feeling the powerful aura emanating from Tianlong's body, Xiao Jin finally changed color as he roared violently. "Ha ha ha, you also have a time to be anxious." A loud laugh came out,